Young Turks, Michael Schur, Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, Roland Martin. Joe Biden's about to speak. Now, they've had some great videos during the DNC, mostly attacking Trump. Their best attack messages have been in the videos. This one was celebrating Joe Biden in his career, so which is nice, but, you know, not that momentous a video. Although within the video, there was a great video when he was talking about the loss of family members. This was even before Beau Biden died, with veterans, families who had lost their loved ones. That was one of the best speeches I have ever seen a politician give, and it was so heartfelt. If you haven't seen that, you should check that out.
That was amazing
on YouTube. And I watched that speech the night Beau Biden died, and it was impossible not to cry.
Yep.
Michael, Joe Biden, one of your favorites of all
I like
time.
Joe Biden. A very quick story. When in 1988, I was a senior in college, wanted to work on his campaign, put a tie and a suit on, went down from New York City to Wilmington, where he was announcing at the Wilmington train station. There were thousands of people there. I thought there'd be like 100 people. So I put on an Italian accent, said I was with the Italian embassy, and they gave me a seat, and it was like 6 rows away, sitting next to Tom Carper. So I always have a soft spot for Joe Biden because of that.
That's a pretty good trick.
Very good. You can't do that anymore, you know.
The thing I've always liked about Joe Biden is why other media hates him. Because you don't know what the hell he's going to say. He doesn't know what the hell he's going to say.
That's true.
And let me tell you something. When he spoke to the NAACP, Joe Biden was more passionate to speak to the NAACP than Obama was.
That's right.
And I'm sitting there and I'm going,
ladies and gentlemen,
did y'all hear what he just said? I mean, he was, and so I've always liked that about him. And there were several times we've had off-record discussions at the White House. And let me say this here. This administration could have
every single day
done some things right
since then,
had they listened to the biggest pro in the White House.
For Jill and me,
That's right.
every day.
I'll just leave it at that. Can't say what the topic was, but I'll just leave it at that.
Join them in that incredible journey.
I have a fun story about Biden, too. I'll tell you in a little bit.
A journey that can only happen in America. But we not only have worked together, as it becomes pretty obvious, we become friends. We're now family. We're family.
See, he's so folksy, but like in a real way.
Right.
Like, you know, Clinton's practiced in his folksiness. Biden is Biden. He's Uncle Joe.
No, when you say it's real, so after that speech at NAACP, so I'm talking to the press people. I'm like, look, I just want to go say hi to him. And she's like, trust me, if he knows it's me, it'll be fine. So we go back. And so his friend Mouse from Delaware, so it was the 3 of us. And so she's leaning in, listening, and Biden pretty much essentially elbows out of the way. And sort of turns away and blocks her. He's telling me this story. And then, so she's like getting really upset. And she goes, Mr. Vice President, let's catch a plane. I don't give a damn about you got to catch a plane. I'm telling this story. So he's like, and it's hilarious. But I'm sitting there going, dude, you're in Air Force 2. I'm flying American. I can't miss my plane. And I'm trying not to be disrespectful, but I need you to hurry the hell up with this story. But he is like telling this story, and it's hilarious, but that's just him. I mean, so it doesn't matter. I mean, he that natural, down-home, folksy kind of guy.
Yeah. And he always talks about Mouse.
Huh?
He always talks about Mouse.
It's no longer who's going to give the best speech. We already know who did that. You were incredible Monday night.
Talking about Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama, shout out.
Yeah. And when he came out, he said, I love you twice to the audience.
The Delaware delegation, as they say in southern Delaware. Barack and I married way up. Way up.
Always talking about his wife, Dr. Jill Biden.
As I stand here tonight, I see so many friends and colleagues like my buddy Chris Dodd and the Connecticut delegation. So many people here.
Who's now making serious bank representing Hollywood.
Walked out of Congress, $2 million a year.
The Jack Valenti job.
Yes.
He had it for a lifetime.
So many faces.
The second most exclusive movie theater in D.C.
This is kind of a bittersweet moment
That's right.
for Jill and me and our family. In 2008, when he was about to deploy to Iraq, and again in 2012, our son Beau introduced me to the country and placed my name in nomination. You got a glimpse. I know I sound like a dad, but you got a glimpse what an incredibly fine young man Bo was.
Zooming in. They know he's going to get emotional. That's why they're zooming in.
Yeah, a lot of tears, this man.
Well, every time he talks about Bo, it's impossible not to get emotional. Right? Because I got a son, and, you know, thought of your son dying before you in that tragic way. He was sick.
And his 2 kids are here tonight.
And Bo was positioned to carry the family legacy forward.
But as
He was
Ernest
running for
Hemingway
governor.
once wrote,
I mean, the path was.
the world breaks everyone.
there.
And he was cool about not trying to push
And
Bo
afterwards,
when he
many
became
are
vice
strong
president to take that seat,
at the
that
broken
appointed
places.
seat.
Yeah.
I've been made strong at the broken places by my love, Jill, by my heart, my son, Hunter, and the love of my life, my Ashley, and by all of you. And I mean this sincerely. Those of you who've been through this, you know I mean what I say. By all of you, your love, your prayers, your support. But you know what? We think about the countless thousands of other people who suffered so much more than we have, with so much less support, so much less.
It's really
reason
hard to
go on.
suffer much more than Joe
what?
Biden
Yeah.
suffered.
Every morning, every day. They put one foot in front of the other. They keep going. That's the unbreakable spirit of the people of America. That's who we are.
I think that if I got the line right, it was amazing that I've been made strong
That's
in
who
broken
we are.
places.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
Don't forget it. Like the people in the neighborhood that Jill and I grew up in. She in Willow Grove and my down in Wilmington and Claymont. The kid in Claymont with the most courage, who always jumped in when you were double teamed or your back was against the wall, who became a cop because he always
It's
wanted
always
to help
amazing to me
people.
that there are other towns in
The
Delaware.
middle daughter of 3 daughters, who always made her mother smile, who was a hero to her sisters, now a major in the United States Marine Corps because, Mr. President, I wanted to serve my country.
This
The
is a
teacher.
great speech so far.
Yeah.
The teachers who Jill knows and so
I
many
can't
of
wait
you
till you
know,
get to the Trump
who
part.
take money out
Yeah.
of their
Yeah.
own pockets
I know.
to buy pencils and notebooks for the students who can't afford them.
Whatever you do, Sanders supporters, I love you, brothers and sisters. Do not
Why?
chant in this speech.
It's sort of like Michelle Obama.
Why?
Let me tell you what happened on Monday.
Because
Black people
being
on
a
social media
teacher is
said,
not what
if
they
y'all
do,
say a
it's
damn
who
word,
they
it's about to be
are.
some black on white violence in the arena.
Yeah, you got to pick your spots. Leon Panetta is
what I
one thing.
know.
This is another.
For real. These are the people who are the heart and soul of this country. It's the America that I know, the America that Hillary knows and Tim Kaine knows. You know,
It's a very rare Tim
I've
Kaine
known
mention
Hillary for
or
well
applause.
over 30 years. Before she was First Lady of the United States, when she became First Lady, we served together in the United States Senate, and during her years as Secretary of State, once a week, we had breakfast in my home, the Vice President's residence. Everybody knows she's smart. Everybody knows she's tough. But I know what she's passionate about. I know Hillary. Hillary understands. Hillary gets it. Hillary understands that that college loan is about a lot more than getting a qualified student education.
Somewhere
It's about
Senator Tim
saving
Kaine
the
is
mom
going,
and the dad
damn, I
from
got
the
to follow
indignity
this.
of having to look at their
Right.
talented
I mean,
He's
I want-
almost getting me to believe this.
I want to live at his house,
The
but
bank won't
come
lend you the
on.
money. I can't help you to get to school. I know that about Hillary. Hillary understood that for years, millions of people went to bed staring at the ceiling, thinking, oh my God, what if I get breast cancer or he has a heart attack? I will lose everything. What will we do then? I know about Hillary Clinton. Ladies and gentlemen, We all understand what it will mean for our daughters and granddaughters when Hillary Clinton walks into the Oval Office as President of the United States of America. It will change their lives.
Jesus, they got to put him out on the stump.
I think they might.
Oh, no, they will.
Any son or grandson can do.
Trump was in Scranton today.
Prove it, Mr. Mayor.
Biden might be there Friday.
Let me say as clearly as I can. If you live in the neighborhoods like the one Jill and I grew up in, if you worry about your job and getting a decent pay, if you worry about your children's education, if you're taking care of an elderly parent, then there's only one person in this election who will help you. There's only one person in this race who will be there, who's always been there for you. And that's Hillary Clinton's life story. It's not just who she is, it's her life story. She's always there. She's always been there.
He talks about how he grew up.
so has
He
Tim
was the
Kaine.
poorest senator in the United States Senate when he was serving there. Because he's came in so young, he never had a chance to earn the big money that
Make
other
a
guys
death
did.
set.
And he's been a career politician since.
To state the obvious, and I'm not trying to be a wise guy here. I really mean it. That's not Donald Trump's story.
Uh-oh.
Just listen to me a second without booing or cheering.
Uh-oh.
I love this.
He's
Great.
so good.
I mean this sincerely.
So good.
Really think about this. His cynicism is unbounded. His lack of empathy and compassion can be summed up in the phrase I suspect he's most proud of having made famous: "You're fired." I mean, really, I'm not joking. Think about that. Think about that.
Excellent.
This part's
Excellent.
good.
Think about
I really
everything
like
you learned as a child, no matter where you were raised. How can there be pleasure in saying you're fired? He's trying to tell us he cares about the middle class. Give me a break. That's a bunch of malarkey.
Joe Biden in a nutshell. That's a bunch of malarkey.
He said
man
that
loves
in a
malarkey.
debate, the vice presidential debate.
Right.
He said that.
Joe looks a little pissed.
Yeah. Super passionate, super emotional, great speech. And I said this on the show before. I said his catchphrase is "You're
Whatever.
fired."
Yeah.
And about time they got to that. I mean, it's the exact
Whatever he
opposite of
thinks.
what you want in a president.
Whatever he thinks. And I mean this in the bottom of my heart. I know I'm called Middle Class Joe. In Washington, that's not meant as a compliment. It means you're not sophisticated. But I know why we're strong. I know why we have held together. I know why we are united. It's because there's always been a growing middle class. This guy doesn't have a clue about the middle class. Not a clue.
Yeah, this is brilliant, man. This is a speech of a
Because,
lifetime.
folks, when the middle class does well, the rich do very well, and the poor have hope. They have a way up. He has no clue about what makes America great. Actually, he has no clue, period.
It should have been Biden. It should have been Biden.
Let me,
I didn't think he should run, but I'm rethinking it. A little too late, but
Now you. This is why I said
let me,
I wanted Joe Biden to run for president.
Yeah, I did. I mean, he's like
This is
I've
why I
said,
said-
I've always liked him.
See, right now we were in a black church. This is what they're saying. Get a hand wave.
yeah, a little hand wave.
The organ we playing.
let me,
What were
let
they
me
chanting?
say-
Something about Joe, right?
Yeah,
let me say
so-
something that has nothing to do with politics. Let me talk about something that I am deadly serious about.
Cancer.
I wouldn't have said
This
deadly.
is a complicated and uncertain world we live in. The threats are too great. The times are too uncertain.
Now,
To elect Donald Trump as president of the United States. Now, let me finish. No major party No major party nominee in the history of this nation has ever known less or has been less prepared to deal with our national security.
That's it. That's it.
We cannot elect a man who exploits our fears of ISIS and other terrorists, who has no plan whatsoever to make us safer. A man who embraces the tactics of our enemies, torture, religious intolerance. You all know. All the Republicans know. That's not who we are. It betrays our values.
He is controlling this room.
It alienates those who we need in the fight against
I
ISIS.
love all our Republicans.
Donald Trump, with all his rhetoric, would literally make us less safe. We cannot elect a man who belittles our closest allies while embracing dictators like Vladimir Putin. No, I mean it. A man who seeks to sow division in America for his own gain and disorder around the world. A man who confuses bluster with strength. We simply cannot let that happen as Americans. Period.
So when he says this isn't about politics and then launches into a political speech, you almost believe him.
Right. This is. They should gavel this convention out right now.
I know, right?
Right.
No one ever doubts I mean what I say. It's just that sometimes I say all that I mean. But folks, let me tell you what I literally tell every world leader I met with, and I've met them all. It's never been a good bet to bet against America.
Ah, it's the perfect amount of jingoism.
Fighting force in the world. Not only
It's a great line. A little turn of phrase would have been, "You make America great again." We are great. Never, ever bet against America. That would have been a slightly better turn of phrase.
The
But
strongest economy in the world. We have the most productive workers in the world. And given a fair shot, given a fair chance, Americans have never, ever let their country down. Never.
I love the First Lady.
Ordinary people like us.
This is the best speech.
this is the best speech.
Period.
We've had candidates before who attempted to get elected by appealing to our fears, but they've never succeeded because we do not scare easily. We never bow. We never bend. We never break when confronted with crisis. No, we endure. We overcome, and we always move forward. That's why.
Hit me with a "we're already great."
With absolute conviction, I am more optimistic about our chances today than when I was elected as a 29-year-old kid to the Senate. The 21st century is going to be the American century. Because we lead not only by the example of our power, but by the power of our example. That is the history of the
That's a
majority of
great
America.
line.
And God willing, Hillary Clinton will write the next chapter in that journey. We are America, second to none, and we own the finish line. Don't forget it. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Wow. Wow.
Come
We're
on,
America!
Come on, we're America. Wow.
Well, that was
I
a
mean,
great speech.
That is money.
This is the last speech, a big political speech of an extraordinary political career, and he just touched them all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was a walk-off home run.
Dude.
That was
That
a
was straight
walk-off
up
grand slam.
mic drop.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Come
right.
on. We are America. There was so many great lines in there I couldn't keep up. We don't just lead by the example of our power, but we lead by the power of our example. What a great line that was.
Yeah, it's Joyce
and
Beatty
and he was earnest and he cared and he hit Trump and he devastated him.
Yeah.
And he almost even got me to believe in Hillary.
But come on, Cenk. He puts it in a parlance that everybody can grasp. There's no flower. There's just, this is what it is.
Al Newhart, who was a publisher of USA Today,
Yeah.
he always hated reading George Will. He said, anyone reading the newspaper should not have to read it with a dictionary. He said, you always make it plain for the reader. Joe Madison, Sirius XM Radio, said, put it where the goats can get it.
Yeah.
I love that. He said, country boy, that's what Joe Biden just did.
Yeah.
He didn't use big words. He simply made it plain. That's what he did.
Wow. Now, Atlanta, Kasim Reed's mayor. This is an easy job. Come out here. Atlanta's mayor, Kasim Reed.
Right. I love Mayor Reed, but I would hate to have to follow Joe Biden. He's a nice guy, but that was one hell of a speech.
Yep. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, guys. Listen to Mayor Reed. We're going to have more praise for Joe Biden and my story with Joe
Stunning.
Biden when we come back. Stay right here.